April 12th is the day when Missing Link comes to Cinemark theaters, and I'm here with one of the stars of the movie. She plays Adelina, Zoe Saldana. Zoe, thanks a bunch for the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Your character is a very strong and independent woman for the time, which is like late 19th century, early 20th century. Tell us a little bit more about her character and how you identified with her.
I mean, I choose to believe that there were those women like Adelina, a lot more than you think in those times, except that their stories and their journeys just go unnoticed because they weren't captured in history, right? So now we have a filmmaker like Chris Butler that believes in Adelina and knows that her adversities do not define her, and her story isn't done yet, you know, and she has what it takes to help Mr. Link find his family.
You know, on the surface, you think it's a buddy movie between the explorer and Mr. Link, but you know, Adelina jumps right in there with him when they go off on this adventure.
I don't think Lionel would have ever learned his lessons if it wasn't for Adelina jumping on board on this adventure.
You know, one of the things about the movie that it kind of hits on is that a person's identity is given to them by themselves, not by who they think other people think they are. That's very true for Adelina. She has to kind of find her own identity along the way.
Absolutely, and I like that message in this movie, that self-acceptance must come first before you seek acceptance of others, you know? And Adelina, you know, realizes that she doesn't need anybody to be on her own adventure.
You know, I've read that one of your passions is working with kids and trying to help them with confidence building. What kind of things can you take away from a character like Adelina that you can show kids to say, hey, this is kind of how you go about building your confidence and building up your character?
I like Adelina. I think that she is the one character, or that one friend that would have always stood up to bullies. Like she has a true sense of justice, and she's not gonna let, you know, injustice happen in front of her if she can, you know, get away with it. And you need people like that. You need more people like Adelina. I also think that even though there's a tough exterior sort of mask to her, at the end of the day she has a really noble heart, and she is selfless, because Mr. Link's mission to find a family is much more important than her self-discovery of herself. Like, who am I? Like, what am I here to do? So that's a good message too, that even though you can be stuck in your own adversities, and if there's somebody around you that it looks and it feels like their problems are bigger than yours, like, lend them, give them a hand, like, listen to them, help them.
Oh, yes. I'll prove the existence of not just one, but an entire evolutionary branch of missing links. Imagine the headlines then.
Oh, well, you really mean that? You're gonna take me?
Of course. I give you my word.
Okay, what is it?
What?
Your word.
No, it's a figure of speech.
Sounds good, what is it?
The word, my dear fellow, is trust.
One of the fun things about the movie is that Mr. Link gets to name himself, and he chose the name Susan. If you had to rename yourself, what name would you pick?
I've been saying this. I would pick my name. I like Zoe. It took me a long time to accept it, and finally when I did, it's like, I don't want to give it up. I was the only Zoe until I was like 15. So I know what it's like to have something that only belongs to you, and it was very difficult for me to share my name after.
Well, you're a one-of-a-kind person with a one-of-a-kind character. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.